Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. It has been a little while since I've sat down to talk to you, and for that I am sorry, but life has been very busy. But today I wanted to share with you my MCM vlog. So for a little bit of context for those of you who aren't from the UK or aren't into conventions, MCM is the big convention in the UK. If you're not into conventions at all, conventions are usually where people meet up, they cosplay, they purchase popular media related stuff, merchandise. They usually have celebrity guests or relevant people that you can go and see, in terms of you can sit in a panel and learn about what they do. You can have stuff signed, you can take photos with them. It really depends on what kind of convention you want to have. There's loads. But usually it's a very social event with some shopping on the side that usually involves your favorite franchises and media. So if that's for you, maybe look at your local conventions. MCM is run by RaidPop, which is a international company, and it's the biggest convention in the UK. It happens in London twice a year, once in May, once in October, and usually spans the whole weekend, so it's usually Friday, Saturday and Sunday. It is a big convention, so they use the ExCeL Centre, which is in East London, and it's physically it's big, and in terms of population it's big, and it's really busy. So I've been going, for a little bit of context, I've been going since 2011 when I first moved to this country. My first friend at school, Alex, she used to go just because she was local and she heard about it, and we were both into anime at the time, which was I think a big part of conventions. Anime and comic books I think is like the origin story. So I've been going since 2011. I haven't cosplayed until I think maybe 2015 or something, when I made my first one with my grandma. And then from then on, it kind of became, the point of it more for me is that I like sewing, I like making cosplay and costumes, and that's really the only place I get to wear them to. So that's one of the reasons I really like going. And I thought I'd just share with you my time there. So, as always, I'm really bad at vlogging, so I took some footage, but I didn't actually talk in a lot of it because I felt awkward. It was really loud and busy in the hall, and yeah. So I just thought I'd sit down and talk you through it, or at least talk you through what's happening in some of these clips. So first I was just doing a little outfit check in the car. We are very lucky to be able to drive in, even though the traffic was horrendous most of the days, and it actually took double the time it should have. But for the first day I decided to cosplay as Jude Duarte from The Cruel Prince, which is a series of books by Olivie Blake. She's meant to be this human in the Fae realm, and then the way I always pictured it in my head was sort of these sort of medieval-y vibes. So for that I decided to do a closet cosplay where I just picked bits from my closet that kind of worked. I only bought one thing, which was the leather leggings. They're not the best, but I couldn't find any other options. They were really cheap. I bought them on Vinted for I think £3 maybe, £5. So they were secondhand, and I think they worked for this particular iteration of it. But I'd really like to get some more medieval inspired pants, trousers, that would work for a variety of costumes. I don't have any, and I hate making trousers because I find them so hard to fit. So maybe one day. Anyway, this costume consisted of those leather leggings, some knee-high boots, which I've had for a very long time, and they're the ones I always use for these kind of things. A linen shirt that I made last year. It was the first shirt that I made for my Nina Zenik cosplay that ended up getting scrapped because it was too voluminous. And then just a vest I thrifted in Lisbon last year. And then I had to do little horns for my ears, and for that I did try to follow some tutorials online. I'm notoriously bad at hair, so instead I got a little cat ear headband, and then I just wrapped my hair around it and tried to make it work. They aren't very even, but I don't think anyone cared. So we made it, and now we're just walking up to the ExCeL Centre. Today I'm wearing my closet cosplay of Jude Duarte from the Cruel Prince book series. So little horns, they are not even, I don't want to talk about it. And it's just a really cute little medieval inspired outfit. So we need to go get our badges and then some food because we're starving. And I'll show you around the con. So the next shots, I just wanted to show you, the first thing we did when we got in is actually we went to eat because I was starving. And at this point it was So if you get, there's three types of tickets you can get to MCM. You can get priority entry for 1 day, which means you get to go in 2 hours before general entry. And it's quite nice because it's way quieter, you have easier access to the stalls. It's for people who like browsing and shopping early, I think. Or for people who want to do photo shoots on location and then there's less people around. General entry is cheaper and you get in 2 hours later, but you still get access to all the same things. And then you've got the weekend ticket, which is a ticket for all 3 days that gives you priority entry into all 3 days. They've gotten really pricey over the years, so I think you really have to weigh whether you want to go. I don't think, depending on your purpose of the convention, you probably don't need all 3 days. So just keep in mind there are options. And then I just wanted to take you around the stalls and see a little bit what was on offer. I noticed that this year there was a lot more D&D stuff, which I really enjoyed. I don't know if that's because Critical Role has really taken off and, you know, the D&D movie came out. It's quite cool to see because between events, stuff does change. And you can kind of grasp the zeitgeist by what's on offer. I tried to include the name of the stalls and their social media where I could so that you can look them up if you really want to. We came to this really cool stall that had sort of 3D printed miniatures and they were running Airbrush Tutorials. So like you could sign up for a slot, come back and you had half an hour to try out an airbrush for free on a mini. And that was a lot of fun. I'd never tried an airbrush before. And you guys take the mini away with you, so now I have this cute little mushroom thing. It was really, really cool. These guys were super nice. If you need any mini stuff, hit them up. They also had these really cool rollers for doing sort of scenery and the basis for minis and stuff. So, and they also do custom made rollers. So hit them up. Basically just took footage of any stall that mildly interested me. And then also there are some key points along the way, like there's always some sort of Star Wars display thing. There's usually a Cosplay Central, which is where there's an emergency team that will help you patch up your cosplay if it starts to fall apart. I think it's also where the cosplay guests usually are. And just if you want to check out cosplay and talk to people about it, that's where it's at. We then stopped for some food. So the convention has access to the XL's own catering services, which are usually, you know, the chain stuff, like there's a Subway, there's Two Costas, that kind of stuff. But they usually have their own catering as well inside. They have some Asian-inspired food, so you can get onigiri, you can get karage, and it's just some good stuff. I always go for some of that as well. And then they recently, in the most recent years, they sort of introduced food trucks kind of, or food stall kind of vibes. And so on the first day, we went for these vegan fries, which were, oh boy, they were so good. Really good decision, and I'm a potato gal. What can I say? I love potatoes. Another big part of the convention is that outside of the XL Center, there's this sort of open area with some grass, some steps, and like a tree area. And this is kind of like the social hanging out bit if it's nice weather outside, which in May, thank God it was. This is usually where a lot of people congregate, that you can do meets here. So they'll schedule things like a Critical Role meet, so that anyone who's a fan of Critical Role can meet up with other people who are fans of Critical Role or wearing Critical Role cosplay, things like that. It's a really nice area. I really like just sitting there and people watching, because the thing that really hits me about MCM is that I love watching people cosplay, and it's not just, you know, it's not just people who go there for like a competition, like top tier, they compete, they do this for a living. It's just all people, and it's just, it warms my heart. And so I really, really like people watching. It's one of the reasons I go to MCM. So we just sat out in the grass for a while in the sunshine. It was so nice just watching people in their cosplays. And I think then we went back inside for a little bit more shopping. And I will for sure show you everything I got at the end. So for the second day, this was a Saturday. Saturday is typically sold out and incredibly busy. I try to avoid it because I just get overwhelmed. It's too much for me. However, this Saturday, they had booked the one event that I really wanted to go to, which was one of my favourite authors, Olivie Blake, was here in the UK doing a book tour, and she was coming to do a panel and a signing. So panels and at least author signings are included in your ticket, and I just really wanted to go. We usually avoid Saturday, so we literally came in just for that. It was quite late in the day because there was a lot of traffic, so I got dropped off at the door and I had to leg it to the panel, but I made it in time, and it was so inspiring and so great to hear her talk. And it was a great panel. I thought both authors that were there were amazing, and I definitely will check out the other book as well. It was great. I love it. And then I got to have my book signed, and then I just wanted to show you my little casual Hobbit outfit, because I did not cosplay on that day because I was going in for 2 hours and it was going to be really hectic, and I spent more time in the car than I did in the convention. So yeah, it was a great day. I was riding on high simply because I got to meet one of my favorite authors and have my book signed, and yeah, it was great. I was really inspired by it because I also really liked writing, so it was great. Then we come to Sunday, the last day of the convention. So on Sunday, I was going to wear my big cosplay. I decided to do this because I actually wanted to try and enter the Cosplay Masquerade, which is a little cosplay competition they do at the end of the day. I've never done one. I've never been brave enough. I have a lot of anxiety, and I didn't ever feel like my costumes were up to par, and it was too much. But this year, with the Breathe dress, I just thought, it deserves a spotlight. Unfortunately, I only thought of this too late, and when I looked into signing up, I got put on a wait list, and they said there might be spots on the day, so I decided to wear it anyway. And I made it, so I wanted to wear it. Unfortunately, there were no spots there were no spots in the masquerade, so I didn't actually go to that. But I did get to wear my Breathe dress around the convention, and that was really nice. I made a little loop for the train so I can wear it like kind of over my arm so it doesn't drag as much on the floor. A couple of people came up to say hi, and they recognized the dress, and it made me all flirty inside. It was really nice. But yeah, so basically we just looked at a bunch of D&D stuff again. We just shopped around, and it was really nice because I got to catch up with some friends. I've been wearing the dress for about an hour, I want to say. Came to Costa to get a drink. Immediately spilled some. Thankfully, this lesson is very forgiving, so pray it's fine. And I'm glad you guys get to see a little preview of the dress. I haven't had the time to edit the full video because, oh my god, it's going to be massive because it was so much work. But I'm going to get to it ASAP and I'm hoping to have that out for you in a couple weeks maybe. But here's a little preview of the dress, you get to see it. And yeah, so now let's talk about all the stuff I bought. So the first thing I bought was this, which is a Witch's Brew cauldron mug. I actually saw this at the convention last year, but I didn't buy it immediately, and then by the time I came back to buy it, it was sold out. So this time when I spotted it, I got it immediately. I think it's so cute and I love it. Spoopy vibes. Then there was a stall with some really cool apparel. So I got these two super cute socks. One is a Monstera and one is like little awesome cat vibes. It's me, I'm Cat, and I love autumn, so that was perfect. And I got a little beanie hat with some embroidered mushrooms. I couldn't resist it. I don't often wear hats, but in the winter it gets really cold and I don't have a cool hat. And now that I do, maybe I'll wear it more. Then I got these three beautiful, beautiful bookmarks. These beautiful illustrations are by Crow and Crown, and I think they're also, you can see the little print up there at the top that I bought last year, and I just really love the illustration style, the magic in it, so I love these, so I bought them. I also got some dice that was in one of the videos, but unfortunately I've put it away, so maybe I'll share it on my Instagram stories or something. And then the last thing I got was this. And this is a, what's it called? Laminated. It's a laminated character sheet mat. So you can just put this down on the table. This will be your mat for the game. And then you've got all your stats and stuff. And because it's laminated, you can use like a dry erase marker or something and just keep updating it. I just love the idea of it because whenever I'm at the table, I have like all this paper and I keep like turning it around and stuff. I don't like the digital side of it. I like having stuff in physical form. So I thought this was really cool. So I got it. It doesn't have the maker on it. Oh, it does. It's by Mythical Studios. So you might be able to find them on Etsy or something. But yeah, that's all I got at this MCM at Estelite. We got one board game, which is called Everdell, and it's downstairs. We have this tradition where we buy a new board game every MCM, and it's great. And I think that's it. I've rambled on for far too long. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this so much fun, this amazing convention weekend. And I will see you in a couple of weeks for some breathe dress making.